No, I didn't. I didn't. I missed that. Oh shoot. CDIO dipping down here, 291, 289. Anybody gonna snatch that up? I'm gonna wait on news. Conference. No news. John, let me see. I feel bad that you can't get the sound on there that you want. I don't know what to. It's clearly something on your end, but I wish I could help. But I don't know what to do. Carrie, good morning. Vance, good morning. When do you go on YouTube? I've been going on about 7:45, right around there. Happy Friday. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kathy. Vicki, good morning. Good morning. I appreciate everybody trying to help John out there, get some sound. Yeah, it's got the problem has to be in the audio settings on Zoom somewhere because he said he gets sound on other apps on the computer, just not Zoom. So that would indicate it's in the Zoom um, app that he's using. There's something in there that's not set the way it's supposed to be set, and I don't know how you would get that unset because it normally as a default you automatically have sound as a default. So it had to have been something that got clicked off unintentionally. So there's got to be something in the settings there. It's hard to talk somebody through that when you're not actually in the room there with them, seeing what they're doing. It's hard to sometimes talk somebody through it, but it's obviously in the settings somewhere. Brent, good morning. Good morning. Well, been pretty slow. Fridays are usually pretty slow, and this has not been much of an exception. Watching CDIO, that one's been climbing up since 7 o'clock this morning. Bob got it from 290 on round two, 290 to 305. Nicely done, Bob. John says, okay, I have sound, but don't know how. Huh. That's very odd, John. I'm glad that you do. I'm really glad you do, but that's really odd. If you don't know what you did to get sound and all of a sudden you got sound, there's something goofy going on. Let's see what MGRX is doing. I was just getting ready to ask you, Don. You want me to cancel your cancel? I will cancel the cancel. I'm glad you were able to. I'm glad you were able to get sound back and stay with us. All right. Well, we've got about 8 minutes here, and we'll get the 8 o'clock press releases. Hopefully, something will jump in there. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures. I do appreciate that. We're almost at that halfway mark of 500 subscribers. We only need like four more subscribers, and we're hitting that halfway point. That is pretty cool. It's those last four that will take forever. Only four more. Good morning. BJDX trying to curl back up. I don't know if it will or not. It's trying. Been really slow with news this morning. Really slow. MGRX. Watch that one climb up real nice here this morning. Of course, CDIO still hanging in there. But I haven't gotten the press release that I'm looking for. That really nice, beautiful press release that causes a stock to run about 200 to 300%. That's the one I'm looking for. K-Love, good morning. Brent, BJDX. Yes, we've been watching CDIO, MGRX, BJDX, and what else was up there this morning? EVTV went up this morning a little bit on a press release, but it fell apart after it climbed up. It went from 177 to 217 on a press release and then kind of fell apart. CDIO back up to 3. Well, shoot, it just wicked up to 309 and then back to 302. But we've got 4 minutes, so going to stay optimistic. Something sweet pops in there. JDX, MGRX. We shall see. RXT. Yeah, RXT's been a hot one for the last couple of days. We'll see if that one Been a good scalp the last 2 days. Obviously, pre-market the other day was insane for us on that stock. Well over 200% on that call out, and that was insane. I love that. MGRX, just wanting that back over 60 cents. All right, we've got 3 minutes. If you can hang on for 3 minutes. Oh, thank you for hitting the subscribe button. The Traveling Trade Adventures. It's early in the morning. Oh my gosh. One of these days, I'll take Fridays off. One of these days. Fridays are always so slow. Let's see. Fourth quarter. Intercept. 25-year expands indicated natural royalty announces managed upsized credit. Boy, NAC is still fighting that darn court ruling. They just put out another press release saying they're going back to court and they're going to fight. They're going to fight the court ruling. They're not giving up. NAC is back. AGAE, based on the overall chart, not looking great. To think it might run back up over 50 cents or so, I have my doubts. That's just a personal opinion, though. It's not financial advice. But it would take, I think it would take quite a bit to get that back over 50 cents again. Press release would do it for sure. Good press release would push it up over 50. Let's see, SSL, BJTX. Investors conferences. ASBP says they've regained full compliance with NASDAQ. ASBP, full compliance now with NASDAQ. Looks like NAC is going up a little bit. GIBO announces breakthrough in its proprietary AIGC engine, entering next generation intelligent content infrastructure phase. That's on GIBO. Big float on that one, 370 million public float. FJet. FJET, Starfighters, and GE progress their Star Launch platform. And that was it. A couple of class action lawsuits. Upcoming investors conferences. That's it. Huh, interesting. Beyond Air. Ticker symbol is XAIR. Beyond Air comments on landmark independent review article highlighting the antimicrobial effects of high dose inhaled nitric oxide and its therapeutic potential for treating respiratory infections. So now we're going to have people inhaling nitric oxide. Good gravy. Good gravy. Oh. So that was about it for the news at 8 o'clock. There really wasn't anything in there worth anything. So nitric oxide, that's laughing gas, right? Is that what the dentist uses? Let's take a look at MGRX. Nitrous oxide. That is correct. Nitrous oxide. Nitric oxide. I don't know what that is. Is a vasodilator. Ah, thank you, Chili. Pass the peace pipe. That's right. MGRX going to try to push up to 60 again. ANPA trying to push up. It's a $13 stock. Unfortunately, that was all we got. Maybe 8:30 will bless us with something. Got to be optimistic. They always hit us when we least expect it. And it could hit any time between now and 8:30. So we have to be optimistic about it. MGRX at 57 needs to break 60. AIOS at 70 cents. Anybody seeing anything that's looking interesting? MGRX looks kind of stuck. RXT's not doing anything. BJDX is coming down. Conference call. EDHL. Let's go look at EDHL just popped. EDHL, Everbright Digital. Just popped from 392 to 481. That was very, very quick. Actually, on the 1 minute chart, if you look at the 1 minute time frame, it went from $3.94 to $5.26 on a 1 minute. That's crazy. $5.64. Wow. That was quite a jump. Which one are you talking about, Rhino? I'd have to go look at it. A little curious about that EDHL. What caused that thing to blow up? That's a micro float stock, by the way. That EDHL that I just been talking about. 541,000 public float. And that's pretty small float. So that, I'm sure that had everything to do with that thing spiking the way it did with that low float. PLYX. I'm not seeing where it climbed. I'm not seeing where it spiked that high. 350 to 63. What day would that have been on? $217. See, I'm not showing it spiking that high. Oh, it was in before 7 o'clock. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That's why I'm not seeing it, but I should see it on my daily chart. PLYX. Yeah, there was no press releases. They had a press release on the 17th, but it wasn't until 8:30 in the morning, and not a press release, obviously at a time when it would cause that to spike up at 6:30 in the morning. 12 million public float. Yeah, I don't see any logical reason for it to have done that. Now let's go back and look at Gibo, Gibo, Gibo. That's the one that announced the breakthrough in proprietary AIGC engine. Up to 180 now. Maybe somebody else has some input on what would have caused that, but I don't see any hard evidence for any reason for it to go up. No press releases. The float certainly doesn't indicate, micro float kind of action or anything. So I don't know. But Gibo, Gibo, Gibo Holdings just spiked to 185. DVLT announces anticipated launch of Josh Gibson stablecoin and Josh Gibson NIL strategies for its forthcoming NIL exchange. Josh Gibson stablecoin. That's on DVLT. American Airlines, AAL, PSA flight attendants reach a tentative agreement. Association of Flight Attendants has issued an agreement. 3-year agreement, 10% wage increase. Pay for boarding, whatever that means, that adds an additional 15 to 16% compensation on average. Retro pay, additional wage scale raises, scheduling improvements, and increased flexibility. I didn't know they were on strike. DCX regains compliance with NASDAQ's minimum bid price requirement. Now, Scans has DCX listed as a micro float. I don't know if that's accurate because the float amount they show is really small, 27,000. And I'm not buying that. But DCX, nonetheless, it's compliant now with the minimum bid price requirement. Now let's go back in MGRX. Now, well, my sinuses are acting up here. We just hit 62. MGRX up 72% from after hours. Total 72%. That includes after hours. Yesterday. HCWC, Healthy Choice, is moving up a little. Thank you very much for that. Not seeing anything. Still optimistic, though. MGRX still hanging in there. We can get that to stay above 60. We might be in good shape. That DCX that I mentioned was a micro float. You can see here it's trying. I don't know what the float is on that. Maybe one of you guys can do some research on that. I've got 27,000 and I don't believe that. We've gone from 222 to 260 on it. It's all over the place. Got a pretty good size spread on it. Level 2 on DCX. Level 2 looks like a micro float. The price points are all spread out like a micro float. But 350,000 shares. So it is a micro float, and the level 2 looks like a micro float. It has the appearance, big jumps from one price point to the next. I don't know. Did they just recently do a reverse split? Boy, the gap up on that is insane. Look at the gap up on that. $60. Imagine going from 243 to 60. Interesting. Not interesting enough for me to want to jump into it, but interesting nonetheless. EDHL. God, look at the fall on that thing. Wow. That's not pretty. 19 million on Webull. Yeah, that EDHL is back down to where it's been. It's back down to the level where it's been hanging out down there for quite some time. You look on the daily, since the 5th of February, it's been down here. It's been down in this range, in the 248, 245. It's been down in that area pretty consistently. So it's not in uncharted areas right now. I don't know what caused that to spike that way. There's no news on it or anything. It just hit the Momo scanner all of a sudden. It was going bananas. I don't know. Maybe it'll get a little bounce back up. Let's go look at MGRX again. Up 63 now. All day runner on this one, perhaps. Maybe break a buck at some point today. Being optimistic, of course. VCIG microfloat. Advances AI native infrastructure strategy with the formation of RoboDAX, unifying robotics automation and real-world asset digital infrastructure. VCIG. That's another one that I question the float amount. It's a 35-cent stock. I highly doubt a 35-cent stock has got a micro float. I would seriously question that. Yeah, 35 million sounds probably more realistic. All right, 4 minutes to go here. We get 8:30. Hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the weather. It's supposed to be really nice here in Central Florida. Supposed to be like 85 degrees today and tomorrow. But then Sunday evening, the temperatures are going to plummet down to a low of 30 degrees. So we're going to go from 85 degrees to 30 degrees in one day. Winter's not done with us yet, evidently. That F-Jet that I mentioned to you, it's up about 10%, 11%. Kind of fluctuating a little bit there. That's the one that Starfighters and GE progress their star launch platform. AD Dude, thank you. I'm working on it. A little bit better every day. Up 13% now. F-Jet starting to hit Momo. It's all over the place. Well, I think our last hope here is going to be 8:30. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures. Appreciate it. We were only 4 subscribers away from hitting that big 500 landmark. But that's my own fault because I haven't put much content out yet. Let's go back and look at our CDIO, popping back up again, back up to 309. Nice climb on that one in after hours last night. That was a beaut. That was a beaut. Apparently, I'm at 499 on Traveling Trade Adventures. So we only need one more. Maybe I'll get it over this weekend. One more subscription. And we'll hit that big 500. That'll be a small little milestone. And then the big one's at 1,000. That's the big one. That's the, in the YouTube world, that 1,000 is the first really big milestone for any YouTube channel to hit, is 1,000. Because once you hit 1,000, you can monetize your channel. So 1,000 is the number everybody tries to get to. That's like the first big milestone. GFAI announces a share repurchase program. GFAI. CDT acquires a strategic stake in Sarborg to transform its AI-driven asset strategy. That's on CDT. And of course, don't forget about GFAI on their share repurchase program. They're going to purchase up to $5 million worth of companies' ordinary shares. Newton, NWTG. Newton Golf signs an exclusive distribution partnership with Voice Caddy, targeting the world's third largest golf market. GFAI's up 24%. CDT is up 11. GFAI now up 30%, 31%, 32%, 36%, 41%. Could we get that thing to run any higher? We've gone from 44 cents to 58 cents, so nothing dramatic. 59 cents. Never know. Let's see what we've got here. Look on the 5-minute chart. Looks like we hit 57 cents. 57 and a half. Got it on the 5-minute chart here for GFAI. Actually gone a little higher than I thought it would on a share repurchase program. Those don't usually push those up like that. Retail must be pretty desperate this morning for something. GFAI is another Schwab call the broker only kind of order. Well, shoot. $501. We hit 501 on the subscribers. That's really awesome. Thank you guys very much for doing that. I appreciate that a lot. Mutter, good morning. GFAI is struggling a little bit up here. Well, right now we had a press release on GFAI, but it's struggling a little bit. It's got a 20 million public float, which is not terrible. I like them under 20. It's up about 27% right now. Thirty percent. PRZO, ParaZero is the name of the company. PRZO secures an additional Defend Air Count USA system order from a second branch at a Israeli defense entity. So they got another order for one of their products from the Israeli defense entity. GFAI, is it going to break 60? Yeah, there was news this morning on EVTV. It wasn't big news, though. What was that news? They got their first purchase order. Their first AS IC purchase order. GFAI back at 57. Let's see if it can break that milestone of 60 up there. Sure looks like it wants to. 59. Buyers are liking those 59 so far. Lot for sale at 59. We need some big orders going through at 59s. But it can do it. $58, $59. Come on. GFAI, it's up 35%. A little surprised it's holding up like it is, to be quite honest, because share repurchase programs used to be really good news. Share repurchase program used to run a stock. I can remember running a stock up 100%. And that changed. I think people got a little bit smarter. Retail traders got a little smarter and a little bit wiser. And the fact that it's up 30% on that is pretty surprising to me. Because normally they don't get much of a boost at all off of that news anymore. $32. Might get a nice little run on it after 60 here if it ever break that. Surprised it's holding up though. At 33%, 34%. It just doesn't want to get up there to 60. Carrie, you have a great weekend. There's 62. Boom. Wow. That was a quick pop up there. 62. Just when I didn't think it was going to hit 60. And of course, right back down under 60. That was a nice pop. Boy, retail is dumping in the orders on the sell side in the 59s. I don't think I think most retail don't have a whole lot of faith in this one to go much higher. I think they're being a little skittish. Steve, you have a great weekend. MGRX at 57. Anybody see anything other than GFAI that's moving up right now? I don't see a whole lot. RXT's not doing anything. BJDX, nothing. GIBO, nothing. EDHL, not really doing much, is it? MGRX, getting pulled down a little. CDIO, not seeing a whole lot. Boy, that GFAI is really meeting a lot of resistance. It's really getting sold off on these pops. Retail's not being real patient with this one. So 43%. You see these big wicks on the 5-minute chart. You see those big wicks at the top of those candles? That is rejection. The buyers are pushing it up, but it gets sold off. Every time it gets a nice big spike, it gets sold off and drops right back down, leaving behind that nice big long wick at the top. I'd like to see those wicks starting to shorten up a little bit. Let's take a look at it on the 1-minute time frame. Not looking terrible there, I guess. Still trying to trend up. Let's look at our MGRX. Almost back over 60 again. It's trying to get over 60. Got some press releases here, but it just popped up, but nothing, nothing good. A lot of conferences, upcoming investors conferences. Investment conferences, emerging growth conferences, new case studies, general market news. TNDM, Tandem Diabetes Care. TNDM, it's a $22 stock. They've announced their fourth quarter and full year 2025 financial results. That's about all that popped up. Darn good. You have a great weekend, my friend. MGRX back over 60. Trying to push up. Trapper, good morning, Wolfpack. I hate snow. SGN, Signing Day Sports, starting to move up a little bit. Thank you, JR. That's showing some signs of life here over the last 3 minutes. Cell therapy development, participating. Nothing. Well, we've got one last go round here. Don't see any news on that one. On SGM, Steve. At least not on my scanner. I don't see any news on it. Have a great weekend. Vicky, you have a great weekend as well. Not much there. So it's a waiting game now. Till we get our nine o'clock stuff. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. I think we're over the 500 mark. Which is phenomenal. PDSB pushed up and then pulled back. Doesn't look like it's doing anything. GFAI trying to curl back up. It's going to take quite a bit to get that back over 60 again. Let's look at that TNDM on the earnings report. Yeah, not much volume there, that's for sure. Looking pretty sick on volume. MGRX looking pretty solid so far this morning. I don't know. Be careful with them. Anybody else not taking a single trade today so far? I'm going to throw my hat in that ring and say I have not taken a single trade. Looks like I'm not the only one. SPAI, SafePro, awarded a contract to provide U.S. government with AI-powered edge processing systems. That's on SPAI. 12 million public float. A contract to provide the U.S. government with AI-powered edge processing systems. Well, don't feel bad because I haven't taken a trade yet either. I've been very picky about the news this morning. And I'm just not feeling the love here when it comes to these press releases. Not confident at all. Seeing too many of these things run up 10, 12, 15, 18% and then just crash. And I'm not going to get stuck in one of those. MGRX at 60 cents. Come on. Got it up to 62 and a half and then fell apart again. $15.80 to 18. That's a pretty good trade, JR. That's a good trade for the day. I hope something pops up for you guys today. If you're going to continue trading throughout the day today, I hope something pops for you. Once pre-market's done here, I'm done for the day. Done for the weekend. I'm done. Done. I'm just not, maybe something will pop up at 9 o'clock and it'll change my mind, but so far, no. Yeah, it's definitely Friday. You can tell it's Friday. SPAI, the one with the new contract, Safe Pro, it's up about what, 13%, 14%, 17%, 18%, 20%. It got a little bump there. It got a little bump. For anybody that jumped on that government contract, you might have done pretty good on that. I did not. Randy, SPAI, 467 to 513. Hey, you guys got something out of that. Hollywood, 451 to 482. Trapper, 467 to 512. Well, I'm glad you guys got a little something out of that. There definitely was plenty of time to get in. Chowee, 491 to 508. I'm on the board with a few bucks. Good. I'm not. I still haven't got anything. SRXH increases ownership of Open Door Technologies by 30% and is now net long cryptocurrency holdings. That's on SRXH. Turner, remember Turner? TRNR announces a 1-for-10 reverse split. How do you like them apples? TRNR. We just traded that stock. And they just announced a reverse split. 1-for-10. Bath and Body Works, BBWI, says they have officially launched in Amazon in the US stores, expanding the access to its iconic fragrances. Boy, Turner, that TRNR is down 37% on that news. All right, JR, let's go look at signing day sports again. SGN. Look at that. Fighting away, isn't it? Up over 50 cents now. Nate, you have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm if you're up north. Jimbo, good morning. Signing day, SGN. Got some decent volume on it. 7 million shares. Getting a respectable amount. There's no news on it. So it doesn't look like we got a whole lot there at 9 o'clock. In fact, we really got nothing other than bad news on Turner. TRNR. I keep calling it Turner because that's what the ticker symbol reminds me of, but it's not actually Turner. It's Interactive Strength. 1 for 10 reverse split, effective February 24th, which will be next Tuesday. So you've got till next Tuesday to decide what to do with that. I do not hold through reverse splits. I tried it a couple of times when I was a brand new trader. Didn't work out, so I don't do it anymore. I learned my lesson. Let's take a look at CDIO again. Pushing back up over 3. This thing's really holding on pretty good. $308, $309, $310. Maybe we'll shoot up there and get a new high on that. Let's look at MGRX, 62.5. Looks like we had a previous high there, 65.2? Yeah, just a little over 65. Be interesting to see if it's going to break that. Could be an all-day run. Bob, round 3 on CDIO from 290 to 310. Got to scalp them when you can get them. Interactive Strength down 35% now on that reverse split news. We got a stock coming off of a reverse split today. Start trading this morning on its new post-adjusted numbers. And that is ADVB. Alpha, Delta, Victor, Bravo. For all my military brothers and sisters out there. ADVB. All right. Well, it is time. It's that time of the morning for me to take off, get back to our Zoom meeting that we have in progress right now. So, Traveling Trade Adventures, you guys have a beautiful weekend. Probably not going to get any content this weekend, but I bet I do next weekend. So you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning. God bless.